Is Rational Nature of Absolute Value? By me. Alright, so can rational nature be considered valuable on its own or only because of its effects? Right? So let's go over a couple terms here. Rational nature. Alright. It means like it has capacity for reason, moral thoughts, and like decision making, right? So this is like your mind, right? This is what allows you to make decisions. Alright. And absolute value, right? That's the value that exists independently of outcomes or usefulness, according to Kant. All right. So, what does Kant think? Kant thinks that rational nature does have absolute value, right? He thinks that rational beings are ends in themselves, right? Which means that they have like they have usefulness just by themselves, okay? And he thinks that absolute value exists completely independent of outcomes, right? And he thinks that humans should never be treated merely as tools because of this first point, because he thinks rational beings are ends in themselves. So it would be morally wrong to treat people as like just as tools, as means for an end, all right? And he thinks that value arises from capacity and not just from moral choices. All right. So what do I think? I think no. All right. As per usual, I'm disagreeing with some guy who died a really long time ago. All right. I think that value is action dependence, not potential dependence. All right. I think that dormant, rational beings are morally valueless. All right. So let's think about this for a second. All right. If we have a morally dormant being, right, they're never making moral decisions. They're never doing anything. They're just there. How different are they from a rock? Okay? So a rock doesn't make any moral decisions. A dormant being doesn't make any moral decisions. What's the difference? They're both valueless. Alright? So let's think about this little thought experiment. Alright? A paper that has the cure to cancer on it. But it's written in a completely indistinguishable text. Alright? We will never know what's on this piece of paper. This piece of paper will never be translated. It has the potential to cure cancer, but it never will. It will never have value. It will never produce a valuable outcome. So it's useless, right? Human actions are always instrumental, okay? So let's think about this. Let's think about this. There is no such thing as treating someone as anything other than a means, all right? But these can be morally good means or morally bad means, all right? So, um, if think about this, if I'm in a relationship and I'm giving it all my love, I'm giving it love because they give love back, okay? I wouldn't be giving love if they weren't giving love back. And if they don't give love back, and I do give them love anyways, is it really out of the kindness of my heart? Is it, or is it just because I'm hoping that they will one day give the love back to me? Or maybe give me love in the first place if I'm a really sad individual. Alright, so here's Kant's objection. Alright, so Kant thinks that potential moral capacity has intrinsic worth just all on its own. Okay? So this doesn't make any sense because potential without action has no practical impact, all right? And therefore no realized value, right? Dormant rational beings, like I said before, are no different from rocks, okay? And the paper with the cure to cancer on it, it's useless, all right? Things are only valuable because they have actualized action, okay? So, in conclusion, I reject absolute value as a whole. There is no such thing as like there just is nothing that has value all by itself. All right, let's think of a factory, right? This factory's whole job is to produce computer chips. All right, so but this factory does nothing. This factory just sits there and it has all the power it needs. It has all the all the materials it needs. It has all the like manpower it needs to make these computer chips. But it just doesn't, okay? It just sits there. It's a waste of space. Why is it there? Because it can produce computer chips? It never will. But I mean, I guess it can. But it never will. So it's useless, okay? they'll think if it does produce computer chips, then it does have worth, okay? It does have value because it produces computer chips, right? Value is dependent on what is produced, okay? If nothing's produced, no value. If something's produced, then it's valuable because of what it's produced, right? And treating humans instrumentally is completely morally permissible because there's no such thing as treating humans not instrumentally, okay? Every single action is in hope for an outcome. So, I hope you enjoyed my TED Talk. Was that fire?
I was fired. I was fired.
Thank you,
There's
Charlie.
no way he doesn't love that, bro.